good morning, and a happy Monday. Welcome to the Foods Podcast. Today is a new day, it's a new week, it's a new dawn, and it's a new episode. Today we are going to be looking at the duty of man as it were, man incorporating the male and the female. Today's topic is the whole duty of man. The whole duty of man. God created man in his image and in his likeness to be like him. And when we look at the Holy Bible, in the Old Testament, the 10 Commandments was given to Moses for the people of Israel. And then when Jesus came, he made reference to the 10 Commandments and said the 2 commandments are hinged on the 10 Commandments, and the 2 great commandments were based on love. Firstly, loving God, and secondly, loving your neighbor as yourself. Now, we're going to be looking at the whole duty of man. And what is the whole duty of man? You know, why has God created us to be like him? What is our duty to God as Christians, as believers, as his children? So when we look at whole, the meaning of whole means all of, a thing that is complete in itself, all of something is in its entirety. And then when we look at duty can mean a responsibility, a legal obligation, or a moral obligation. It could mean a task or an action that one is required to perform as part of one's job or role. It's something that you have to do, not that you can do or you should do, something that one is expected or required to do. It's like binding upon you. So as Christians, as children of God, we have what we need to do required of us. We know we look at God as our Father. He is our Father and our Creator, and we expect God to do some things to us the same way God expects us to do certain things. We believe that God has responsibility for us. At the same time, God also believes that we're responsible to him, to carry out some certain things. So when we look at the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13, it says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." This is the whole duty of man. So this is the entire responsibility of man. This is the entire legal obligation of man. This is the entire expected requirement of man. So I've simply come to tell you that as a child of God, as a creation of God, as a creation of the uncreated Creator who created you in his image and in his likeness to be like him, to be an oracle for him, to be a royal priesthood, to be a holy nation, to be a peculiar people here on earth, your whole duty is to fear God and to keep his commandments. When you keep his commandments, you will have good success and your ways will be prosperous. When we look at the book of Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, it says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success." It's so easy to be blessed by God, because our whole duty as children of God, as sons and daughters of God, is to fear God. And the fear is not a fear like a fear in a place of terror. No. It's a fear in a place of reverence, in a place where you're in awe of your Father, from a place of love. When you love someone, you give them the honor that is due unto them. You respect them. It comes naturally because it comes from a place of love. It's not coming from a place of force. It's not coming from a place of duress. And when you fear God and you obey His commandments, just like when you meditate on God's law, book of the law, and you observe to do according to all that is written therein, God will never owe any man. He is a rewarder of those that diligently seek Him. He will bless you. He will make your way prosperous, and then you would have good success, and you'll be able to do exploits even greater than what Jesus did whilst He was here on earth. So I've come to remind you, I've come to charge you, I've come to encourage you, I've come to give you this insight, this reminder that your duty, not just your duty, but your whole duty here on earth is to fear God and to keep His commandments. When you do your responsibility, when you do what is required of you, God, being a covenant keeper, would also do what is required of Him. When you carry out your responsibility, there's no stopping God. So please carry out your duty to the fullest. Don't hesitate. Don't copy others. Stay focused on God. Fear Him and obey His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Have a blessed day. Have a wonderful week. And I'll see you in the next episode of the Foods Podcast. God bless you. Shalom.